It was an ordinary night, just like any other, when Marcus, a young scientist at a quiet observatory, heard a strange sound coming from the radio. He had been working on a project studying deep space signals for months, but this one was different. The sound was sharp and rhythmic, almost as if it were a coded message. At first, he thought it was just another glitch. After all, radio interference from Earth satellites was common, but the pattern was unmistakable. As Marcus leaned closer to the receiver, his heart skipped a beat. The signal was getting clearer, more distinct, as if someone or something was trying to communicate. His fingers hovered over the keyboard as he took notes, feeling the hairs on his neck stand up. He checked the frequency, adjusted the settings, and ran the signal through a decoding software. It wasn't anything he had ever encountered. The software produced a series of random symbols, nothing that resembled a language he recognized. He couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't alone in the observatory that night. He turned, half expecting someone to be standing behind him, but the room was empty. It was just him, alone in the silence of the observatory, with the hum of machines as his only company. Over the next few days, Marcus couldn't get the signal out of his mind. He'd played the recording over and over, trying to decipher it, but each time, it felt like it was getting more intense, more urgent. That was when he decided to share the discovery with his colleague, Dr. Emily Thompson, a linguist who specialized in ancient languages. Emily was skeptical at first, dismissing it as a technical anomaly, but when she listened to the recording, her eyes widened. She could hear the same patterns of repetition that Marcus had noticed, but there was something else in the sound, an underlying rhythm that was almost familiar. The two of them worked around the clock, trying to decode the message. As they sat in the dim light of the lab, Emily pulled out her notes on ancient communication methods. The symbols they were receiving seemed to mirror some old dialects, but they couldn't make sense of it. There was one symbol, though, that caught Emily's attention. It was a circle with a line running through it, a symbol she had seen in an ancient text she once studied. She felt a chill run down her spine. Marcus could see the confusion and curiosity in Emily's eyes. "Do you think it could be possible? That this could be real?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Emily hesitated. "I don't know," she said slowly. "But whatever this is, it's not random." The mystery only deepened when the signal became more frequent, as if whoever or whatever was sending it wanted them to know something. As the days went by, Marcus and Emily became obsessed with cracking the code. The message wasn't just random noise, it was a language, and it was begging to be understood. It wasn't long before Marcus and Emily made a breakthrough. They discovered that the coded symbols were not just a language, but a series of instructions, coordinates leading to a location deep in the forest, far from civilization. The message was clear: find us. At first, they debated whether to follow the coordinates. It was insane, they both knew it. But the more they thought about it, the more they realized they had no choice. This wasn't just some technical glitch or a scientific curiosity. This was real. They packed their bags, gathered their equipment, and set out for the remote location. The journey was long, and as they got closer to the coordinates, Marcus felt a strange sense of unease. It wasn't the dense forest or the isolation, it was something else. A feeling that the very air around them was charged with an energy they couldn't explain. The forest was eerily quiet as they walked deeper into it, the only sounds being the crunch of leaves beneath their feet. As they reached the designated spot, they found a clearing with a strange, metallic structure in the center. It looked like something from a sci-fi movie, an obelisk, glowing faintly with an unearthly light. The moment they approached the structure, the signal they had been tracking grew louder in their earpieces. The symbols were now flashing rapidly, faster than ever before. And then, the unthinkable happened. The structure emitted a low hum, and the ground beneath them vibrated. In an instant, a figure appeared before them, a being unlike anything they had ever seen. It was tall, its body shimmering with translucent skin that seemed to glow with an ethereal light. Its face was elongated, with large black eyes that held an intelligence far beyond anything human. Emily's breath caught in her throat, and Marcus could barely find the words to speak. Are you real?" he asked, his voice trembling. The alien creature tilted its head, as if considering the question, before responding. "We are real," it said, its voice like a melody in their minds, bypassing their ears entirely. "And we have been waiting." The creature introduced itself as one of the Ve'ari, a race that had been watching humanity for millennia. The signal they had been receiving was not an accident, it was a message meant for them. The Ve'ari had been searching for a way to make contact with humans, and they had chosen Marcus and Emily as the first to hear their call. As the aliens spoke, Marcus and Emily struggled to grasp the enormity of what was happening. This was beyond science, it was the revelation of something far larger, far more complex than they had ever imagined. The Ve'ari explained that they had been monitoring Earth's progress, and while they were fascinated by human potential, they also feared humanity's destructive nature. The message they had sent was a warning: humanity was on the brink of self-destruction, and unless they changed their ways, the Ve'ari would have no choice but to intervene. The encounter with the Ve'ari left Marcus and Emily in a state of shock. They had always wondered if there was life beyond Earth, but this was something entirely different. The aliens' warning was clear: humanity was on the path to its own destruction. But what could they do? How could they change the course of human history? They knew that revealing the truth about the Ve'ari could lead to panic, chaos, or worse, exploitation of the knowledge for power. The weight of the decision was immense, and they were faced with a choice: share what they had learned and risk the destruction of everything, or keep it a secret and let humanity continue its path toward ruin. The Ve'ari offered them a solution, a way to share the knowledge, but not in the way humanity would expect. They could help guide humanity's evolution, pushing it toward peace and understanding. But the process would take time, and it would require sacrifices that neither Marcus nor Emily were ready to make. As they sat together in the clearing, the alien spoke again. "The choice is yours. But know this, we are not alone. Others will come, and they will not wait forever." Marcus and Emily realized that the Ve'ari's intervention was not just a choice for them, it was a choice for humanity as a whole. They could choose to fight for a better future, or they could allow humanity to spiral into oblivion. In the end, they decided to share the message, but not with the world at large. Instead, they would contact a small group of leaders, scientists, and thinkers who could help steer humanity in the right direction. The world was not ready for such a revelation, but a select few could be entrusted with the knowledge. As they returned to their observatory, Marcus and Emily knew that their lives had changed forever. The signal had led them to a truth that would shape the future of the human race. They had made their decision. Now, all they could do was hope that humanity would choose to listen before it was too late.